What's up, y'all? One of the funnest things about being a survival instructor is you look at everything and wonder how you can catch it on fire. Today, I am cutting up some venison backstrap to pan sear and eat for dinner, and it's going to be so good. And all the fat and trimmings and everything that I cut off of it, I'm not going to waste it. I'm going to cook it up, and it can be treats for my dogs, and that kind of spaces out their treats that we have to buy from the store, and we save money that way. But one of the cool things about being an old survival instructor is, like I said, you're always looking on how to catch stuff on fire. So this is some fat that I saved from the trimmings that I'm cooking up for the dogs. We're going to see if we can catch it on fire today. So check it out. Put y'all up here. What we're going to do is get an old beat up t-shirt like that. We're going to take it. Now the important thing is that this is a cotton t-shirt. All right, so if you have cotton on you, you could possibly do this trick. But what we're doing is turning this cotton into kind of a wick. So we're going to cut that sucker up. And let's see how big. Yeah, that will do, okay? We have our little bit of fat. We're going to take that fat and wrap it up in the cotton, and we're going to work it and try to squeeze the fat in between of those fibers. If you've ever overcooked bacon, you know that fat will catch on fire. If you have a fire extinguisher in your kitchen, that is why. It's because fat is flammable. In one of my other videos talking about Firecraft tenders, you saw that I was catching a plastic spoon on fire. You know, petroleum products. Most of the things around us are made of petroleum, of plastic. And if we turn those into hair-like fibrous materials, then they will catch on fire very easily. They'll have a low flash point. Now this is going to have a higher flash point. I've caught these on fire with a metal match. You can do that. You just have to keep hitting it in the same spot with the sparks and really concentrate that heat. Because remember the fire triangle, the stronger or the more of one thing you have, whether it's fuel, oxygen, or heat, then the less you have to have of the others. One will compensate for the other as long as you have all three. If you remove one of those components of the fire triangle, then it ain't gonna work, okay? So it's things like that that we remember, all right? Now I'm smushing all that fat in there. Let's see. Let's get a lighter. Because like I said, this is going to have a higher flash point, okay? So we have to be able to have more intense heat concentrated on it for longer than something with a low flash point, like say if we took a cattail and roughed that up and got all those really nice hair-like fibrous fibers off of there that are going to just light by looking at them, okay? This is denser, it's oil, it's going to take a little bit more heat than something that we've broken up a little bit. And that's why we're using a lighter. Now, like I said, you can use sparks, you just got to concentrate it a little bit. It's going to take a long time and concentrate that heat in one spot. Cotton will start burning once it's got all that fat impregnated in there. And I'm talking about petroleum products. Oh, my breath just put it out. Talking about petroleum products and a lot of our synthetics. Synthetic clothing is made out of petroleum. Maybe I need to go catch one of those on fire and see if it will work. But where there's a will, there's a way. Now you're like, hey Justin, this is kind of hokey. Where am I going to get animal fat from in a survival situation? Well, maybe you find a dead animal. Maybe you kill an animal that's got some fat on it. All right. We used to teach this in Alaska at the Arctic Survival School, and that was something that the Inuits would do with like walrus fat or seal fat. They would smush it up in material, or they'd actually just burn chunks of it as well. So It's just one more thing that you can use to survive. And not that necessarily there's a high probability of doing this, but if you've got the resources, it's one more tool in the toolbox. So anyway, this was always fun, doing it in camp, showing survival students who hadn't really eaten a whole lot in a couple days, because it smells awesome. It smells like bacon or cooking beef, and it would just drive people crazy. And this will burn for 20 or 30 minutes, depending on the amount of fat and material that you have in there. So if you've got some damp material trying to start a fire, like your tinder and kindling stage, well, this is your tinder stage, but your kindling stage and next stages that are a little damp, well, if you manage it correctly, this is a great tinder because it's going to burn for a very long time. And like we were saying with this, with the flash point, we have to hold that heat on there for a long time to get that heat built up for the fire triangle to light our fuel source. Okay, so if this is going to burn for a long time and consistently, we can have some subpar kindling and fuel stages, but yeah, so it's helpful. It's a good long burning flame that smells great. They should probably make a candle out of it and sell it at Best, or not Best Buy, Bed Bath & Beyond, and make $1 million. Actually, they already do. I've seen it on the internet. So, all right, enough of that. I need to cook dinner, but that's what happens when you live with a survival instructor. We're always catching stuff on fire and talking about it because, you know, it's awesome. It's fun. Thanks for watching. We'll see you next time. Cheers. Whoa!